Hello everyone and welcome to the class of World History. In our last class, we have discussed about French Revolution, its cause, its event. We have also discussed effect, but today we are going to talk about the significance. Now, when you are trying to answer the question of significance of French Revolution, remember it is different from impact. Unfortunately, many students give impact or effect of French Revolution as their answer instead of talking about its significance. Now, let's understand the difference. When you are talking about significance necessarily doesn't have to talk about impact or the immediate effect of French Revolution. Now, if we talk about significance of French Revolution is there even in India. Even for India, the French Revolution was significant. Why? Though India was not directly affected by French Revolution, but it inspired certain ideologies even in India, like nationalism, fraternity, equality, the whole idea that people should get right. This is what we are talking about when we talk about significance. So, instead of talking more about it, let me start and explain you further. So, today in our class, we are going to talk about the significance of French Revolution. So, when we talk about significance of French Revolution, the first significance is the basic ideology that it gave. It became the harbinger of humanitarianism. If you remember, there was a series of movement or philosophical movement that took place. Renaissance was one of those movement, Reformation movement, Enlightenment movement. All these movements had talked about the natural right of an individual, which cannot be decried, which cannot be abolished in any state, and these ideologies actually shaped French Revolution. And when you look into French Revolution, what was the basic motto or goal of the people? The basic motto or goal was happiness of each and every individual, and that happiness could not have been attained in a reign of a monarch who was not ready to hear or listen to the need of the people. Now, this is one of the very important significance of French Revolution, because humanitarianism was totally established in society after French Revolution by many important events, like the Declaration of the Rights of Men and Citizen. This document, which was presented to the people of France by the revolutionaries, simply enlightened the basic value of French Revolution, the idea that there are certain fundamental rights of the people, and this right cannot be negated by any state. If there is a state, it has to protect those rights. In fact, this Declaration of the Right of Men and Citizen is the very document which also inspired the fundamental rights in India. Okay, the right to life, right to property, right to life, right to liberty, right to equality. All these rights which are given in our constitution is actually inspired by Declaration of the Right of Men and Citizen, this document which was published by the revolutionaries during French Revolution. So, this is the significance of French Revolution. So, when we talk about humanitarianism and about this document, we also understand French Revolution, it very concretely established natural right of people, natural right of people. Now, remember, it may look like just a mere word, natural right of people, and during that time when it was taken in France, nobody really realized how far the significance of this word will be. this is the very word which actually hit the nail in a institution called slavery. Even during the time when French Revolution took place, slavery was practiced across the world. Britain was selling slaves from African coast to America, and this was something which was a very grave institution where the natural right of human was curbed. He was not given the right to lead his life naturally. He was brought into a state or a farm like an animal who was used as a bounded labor, especially even in America. If you look into the American Revolution, though it established a democratic government, democratic republic government, it did not give the right to vote to the slaves in America. So the slavery still existed in America even after American Revolution. But this very concept of natural right of human became the founding stone on which slavery was also questioned in future. Next important significance of the revolution is the concept of secularism. Remember, before French Revolution, you do not find, or we do not find any revolution poignant enough which questioned the authority of religion in the life of a person. Now, even before this, we do study about Reformation, but Reformation did not say that religion should not interfere in the personal life of people. It was only French Revolution which for the first time recognized that religion is a very personal affair. It also gave freedom to people, those who were Catholic to propagate their own religion, and those who were Protestant to practice their own religion. So there is equality of religion as well, right to practice and propagate their own religion, which is very important, essential part of secularism. Such concepts were established by French Revolution, and the very important aspect of this secularism word is the fact that no more church had the right to interfere in the politics of a state. Now, the fifth important significance is the growth of nationalism. Now, nationalism as a word developed because of French Revolution. When French Revolution started, many states with monarchies got scared and they did not want the influence of French Revolution to cross the border and enter their state. So what did they do? They started attacking France by forming alliances, and there were not just one attack, there were several attacks, 6 to 7 attacks on France, one after other, subsequently simultaneously. And what happened during that time? People who were revolving against absolute monarchy, who were trying to bring a change in France, they started joining army. They themselves went and joined army to safeguard the border of the France and to safeguard the revolution itself. What happened because of that? That developed the concept of nationalism. It gave people the very idea that if the masses came together for achieving one single goal, that there can be no power in the world which can stop a nation. Okay, and we also see the very ground on which a nation state is built. So for countries like India, for countries like Sri Lanka, for Asian countries, for African countries who were colonized by Britain, and before that they were under imperialistic states, various monarchies ruled on them, and the whole country was divided into small kingdom. They realized that by remaining fragmented, they could not safeguard themselves, or they could not develop themselves. Only when people came together and formed a nation, that is when a state can develop. So nationalism as a concept developed because of French Revolution. One of the most important concepts that developed after French Revolution was republicanism. Now, republicanism, though republicanism was also propagated in America, if you remember, not everybody initially was given the right to vote in America. In fact, certain people with a portion of income and the amount of tax that they paid. On the basis of that, these people, this group of people got the right to vote. But as I have been saying, Jacobins were the first who introduced vote for all, and that was true republicanism. So, republicanism as a concept got very strongly established because of French Revolution. These are the significance of French Revolution, but one more last important significance was revolutionary activity. Now, revolutionary activity got very popular in many other countries after French Revolution. So, if you see Ireland, Ireland became active in revolutionary activity. It was under Britain, and Ireland revolution is very famous. It was a violent revolution that took place, and Ireland achieved its freedom through those activities. Poland, which was under Russia, even there revolutionary activities became very popular to gain independence from Russia. But French Revolution inspired revolutionary activities even in India. The revolutionaries in India, they studied French Revolution, and they knew that a mass revolution can bring people together, unite people together against a corrupt regime. So, these are the significance of French Revolution. We will meet you in another class with another topic of world history. I hope this class was helpful for you.